Hello and welcome to another episode of Claire here. Today we're going to be talking about the ultimatum and why if you do stupid games, you get stupid prizes. Episode 1, chapter stupid, we have our couples, Mr. Ready and Miss Hooters Girl. We have Miss Time Clock and Mr. We Got Time, Mr. Groom and Mrs. Businesswoman. And we have the Nomads, and then we have the High School Sweethearts, and then we also have our favorite couple, the Silver Goblets and the Cameraman. So my issue today is the fact that marriage is complicated. Sometimes it's literally right place, right time. Like you can sit there and have all your plans ready for this person, but it might not be ready in time. So instead of being a consulting adult and going and having an adult conversation with them, let's drag out 12 episodes of why they shouldn't. So I'm going to go in detail about each couple and which ones I think is going to make it. Y'all don't have to watch the rest of this season because my predictions are always on point. They were on point last time. Number 1, we're going to go with Mr. Ready and Miss Hooters Girl. I've seen this situation before where the dude is just ready. I feel like he doesn't want to get married to her. He wants to get married to anyone. Like she literally has told him as his future wife, hey, I am currently a Hooters girl right now. I don't want this as my career, but I also don't want to be forced into getting a career so I can be stable. So you don't have to sit there and pay for everything and hold that over my head. Because that has happened before where a man will sit there and get a much younger woman. And I mean, they're only 4 years apart, 28, 24. But I've seen it before where a man will sit there and get a younger woman and then be like, you don't have to worry about this. And then they divorce because she ages out. Leonardo DiCaprio. She ages out and then he ends up getting with another woman and she has no work experience, no savings, no nothing because he took care of her. It's dangerous because I've seen situations like this. Like I said, I'm in my 30s, so I've seen all these situations and I can tell you which one's actually going to work. I've seen this situation before and it doesn't end well for either party. Either he's going to want to automatically settle down and have kids outright, or she's going to resent him for making her get married so young because she doesn't want to lose him. Now, do I think that they care about each other? I know they do, but I feel like he likes the idea of her. He doesn't really want to marry her. I feel like he likes the idea of her because she's fine. I mean, she's very attractive. I can say that confidently. She's very attractive. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I feel like he's just like, this is what a wife's supposed to be. She's supposed to be fine. That's wifey type. She is not wifey type because she's attractive. Next couple, we're gonna talk about Mr. Groom and Miss Businesswoman. Now this pairing was kind of like a little funny to me because, okay. And I feel like there was, I just didn't sense the chemistry between them. I feel like it's very much like he's doing this because he feels like he wants to, but she clearly wants to start her business. Like she wants to focus on her business right now. But also I noticed this too, like women, we have this tendency that we start focusing heavier on our careers, not because of men, stay with me now. We end up focusing heavier on our careers because we feel like we're not comfortable yet. Like there's something about him that's not letting her feel comfortable to where she can, I wouldn't say put on the back burner because we love a good businesswoman. This is my business. But something that makes her feel comfortable. And I feel like he's just like, I will leave. And kind of like when he said it in the episode, like it was giving very much, she was like, all right, you got it in. Like she got him on a loop, you know? So I truly feel like he needs to really see, like, does he really want to marry her or does he just want to get married? And there's got to be a reasoning why she feels like she has to be into her business that much because there's such thing as a good balance. We're going to go into Miss Time Clock and We Got Time. First of all, disrespectful. Class, spell that for me. Disrespectful. When she mushed his face because he was talking to Miss Hooters Girl, I'm not remembering anybody's name. It's irrelevant. Anyways, but when he had mushed Hooters Girl's face, like the first thing I thought of was like when she's mushed him because he was talking to Hooters Girl's face. I feel like you don't understand. As men really, really they love respect. So you sat there and embarrassed him in front of everybody. And you also decreased or almost eliminated any chance that any dude's going to try to talk to you because they're just like, okay, so she's not a good sport. She ain't fine enough to deal with that. So I feel like she ruined her chances there. But something about this, the fact that like, I think she tried to force him. And my thing too is that once again, it's about time because I feel like I think she's 31 and he's 28 and she wants to settle down. Like you gotta understand what men don't have that voice. Men there's something about her that he doesn't see as wifey type. Like, men just don't sit up there and just kind of like, there's some men who, they can express their emotions a little bit more clearer, but there's something about her that he's not seeing as wifey material, but he doesn't know how to say it to her without her taking it personally, because clearly she's sensitive. So I can definitely say, this relationship, I don't see, just like with the Hooters girl, I don't see this relationship lasting past the show, because I feel like he's trying to, still, live his best life, but she's on a clock. And like I said, women have an equation in their head. They're just like, okay, well, I'm 31. By the time we get married, I'll be 32, have my first kid by 33, and the twins are 35. Like, there's like a little birth math, gestation math that women do, and men don't have that. They're just like, well, let me see where I am in my career. Let me see how much things I have on my list to do. Am I providing enough? That's how men think. Women think the opposite. So they're not gonna last past this show, but it's just scary to me, because I can see him as a type that he's gonna meet somebody at 29 or 30 and he's gonna wife them up immediately. All right, so next couple, those are the first three couples, the nomads. This is basically, he likes to travel and she likes to travel too, but once again, they're like later 30s. They've been together for a good amount of time. If you hear that, that is the puppy I am watching. He is drinking his water conveniently right now while I'm filming. So basically the nomads, I feel like basically he wants to marry her, but there's something about her that he doesn't like. Like I said before, like these men will sit here and be like, oh, I don't want to marry you because I'm the right time. It's not the right woman, because he will get his money up correctly. He will get stuff on time for the right woman because he doesn't want to lose her, his dream girl. I feel like there's something about her that he doesn't like. And I don't like that, because it kind of points the finger at her. It's not the finger at her, because there's a man out there who will literally wife her up immediately after 6 months, meet her in Trader Joe's or whatever, or Publix. This is South Florida. Meet her in a Trader Joe's or a Publix, and he is not coming over here to, sir, you always do this while I'm filming. Anyways, like I was saying, I feel like it's just one of those things where like they're not gonna work out, for the sole fact that she wants to get married now, and there's something about her that's not clicking for him. But I feel like she shouldn't sit here and wait. We have a co-host now. She shouldn't sit here and wait on him to make that decision if she really wants to start having kids soon, and also if she wants to be married right now. I personally, I wouldn't recommend her. She seems like she's a dope girl. I wouldn't recommend her staying, because he's still trying to figure it out. But I think this experiment might actually work. It might actually work for him, because I feel like he needs a push to kind of like little mama Alexis and her man from last season. I feel like he might be one of those people where he might need a little bit of a push to be like, wait, she's going somewhere else. I think he might actually need that push. I think they're the only couple, at least in my eyes, that really have a chance, which leads me to the high school sweethearts. Absolutely not. Immediately no. I feel like it's scary. And like I said, there are some people out there, the three of you in the corner, there are some people out there, they literally meet the love of their life at 17 and they're good on that. They don't have to explore. They don't have to date. They don't have to do none of that. Please don't chew on the chords. I know he speaks English. But like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like they don't have to do none of those things. And I feel like there's plenty of people out there, you know, but those people don't live on Earth. Okay? They don't live on Earth. Like, most of the time you need to go out there and kind of venture and kind of see, and she's 10 toes down, and then he's like kind of like, oh, well, you know, I don't know if I'm ready. But in his aspect, like, I feel like I get where he's coming from, because he doesn't want to like be tied down and then realize I've never dated anybody. They've been together since you know what I'm trying to say? Like, he feels like they've done everything together. They've never done anything apart. They've really never stayed with each other. So me personally, like, I just don't see where this would work long term, being in a marriage. But she's also never dated too, because like my biggest fear for them, which I've seen it before, like I said, I'm in my 30s, I can do this. I've seen the divorces. I can definitely say I've seen situations where it's a high school or even a college sweetheart, and this is all this person knows. And then once they get married, they start stepping out, or they want to get a divorce so they can be back to the streets, because this is all they've known. This is the only person they've ever known. So I feel like it's just one of those things where, like, I personally, I don't think they're gonna last past the show, because I feel like once that bubble pops, once that bubble pops of dating someone, like dating other people, I feel like they're going to I feel like they're going to change their minds about whether they want to be committed to each other. But I would say out of all the couples, the nomads have the highest chance of actually getting married. Everybody else is a no, just from human behavior, just from watching body language and like how they spoke about each other's point of view, each perspective. I feel like from each perspective, I feel like from them talking for each one, he's barking at air. I feel like from them talking for each one, I feel like there hasn't really been somebody besides the nomads that stuck out to me. Everything else is like a disaster. Do not waste the piece of paper or the marriage license and going through all this stuff. And I really feel like that's what's gonna happen. But honestly, like, I like that this type of shows, like, of course, you know, Love is Blind is gonna be here, and I'm gonna have my analysis ready. But I do have a couple of questions. Why is this running 1 week before Love is Blind begins? Like, I would have at least, you know, waited and put it in October, you know, so you can actually give Ultimatum a chance. Like, I get it, you know, fire at both cylinders, but how can you really promote both shows? You know, like, they're not as hands-on. I know they're not as hands-on with Love is Blind as they usually are, but I'm still kind of like, why push them both out at the same time on the same platform? Like, you should be able to give each person their time to shine, because right now it's going to be a battle of who can be the most dramatic outside of the script, outside of what was already filmed and produced. So I don't know. I just feel like I love these shows because people can see in real time before. This is like, they don't need to call this ultimatum. They need to call this before the divorce. Like, literal. Like, it's so crazy. Like, one thing I'll leave you guys with, which I've known to always been true, is that divorces are never new problems. There's never like a case where they're just like, oh my God, the kids are the reason why the divorce happened. Screw them kids. Cap. He was unthoughtful and lazy before the children got. Now you got 2 copies of him walking around messing your house up. He was already like that. Oh my God, she's just not nurturing at all. She wasn't nurturing before them children got here. She's not going to magically become nurturing because the children are here. Like, notice patterns. Truly study your partner. Like, there's been plenty of times where people will sit there and be like, oh my God, I just couldn't see it coming. If you're not sitting there studying your partner, I'm not saying stalking them. I'm talking about if you're not there studying your partner on a daily, what are you doing? Because that's going to let you know if they're truly happy with you. Going to let you know if they're sick. You're going to let you know if psychologically they might need help and they don't know they need it. Like, why are you guys not studying your partner? Like, what else? Like, you study Facebook. You can name 3 filters from TikTok, but you don't know what's going on with your partner. There's so many red flags throughout all these couples that wouldn't make good marriage candidates. Like, wouldn't make good marriage candidates because they're literally red flags that they don't listen. Like, for example, with Mr. Reddy and Miss Hooters girl, like, she said plenty of times, I'm not comfortable where my career is at. And he's like, forget all that. I'll take care of you. Like, this is a divorce waiting to happen. And the one thing I can definitely say, it's better to be married at 38 forever compared to married at 25 for 5 years. Don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire Haire.